What is up, my dearest friends? My name is B, and I am super excited to bring you this Browning 1911 380. This is Browning's answer to the pocket pistol segment. It is obviously a little bit bigger by design. It is way more comfortable to shoot than a lot of these poly pocket pistols. Poly pocket pistols, see what I did there? But it is so comfortable. And honestly, I think it's a little bit more comfortable to shoot than something like a Glock 42 or that Bodyguard 2.0. It's just bigger. This gun did very well at SHOT Show 2024. This particular model is the Cerakote Copper, and Browning actually has quite a few of these black label 380s. They've got Cerakote, what do they have? Like Northern Lights, which is like a grayish blue. They have Black Cherry, which is beautiful, but I personally think this Cerakote Copper was the option out of all of them. And this guy retails at $950. Featuring a skeletonized hammer, you can see that there. Quite a beautiful little hammer. It's got ambidextrous, elongated safeties. And one of the things I actually really like on these 1911 380s from Browning, they have the slide release it's really long, and it's pretty comfortable to hit right in there. Oh. Another aesthetically pleasing feature of this version is that Browning Buckmark logo right there in the grip on both sides. Carrying capacity on both of the mags that come out of the bag, apparently, not a box. Both of them are 8, and so you've got 8 plus 1 on this one. Normal metal sights with 3 white dots. Anyone who has shot the 1911 platform knows it is a joy. It is a pure joy to shoot. The crisp trigger pull, the actions of them, they get dirty and start failing pretty quick, where Glock is pretty infallible. However, Grandpa Joe's gonna be out there complaining because this is not a true 1911, and Grandpa Joe, you do have an excellent point. This is a scaled down version of the 45 caliber 1911 that started clear back when, but this has all the form and function of a true 1911, and I am telling you, this is a wonderful gun to carry. This is a wonderful gun to shoot. It is accurate. It is fast as heck. Carrying capacity obviously suffers just a tiny bit. The gun measures in length 7.5 inches long. The barrel is actually 4 1/4. True 1911, you're sitting at a 5-inch barrel. So obviously you're a little bit shorter, but not by a whole lot. And this thing is accurate. Do I have any complaints about the Browning 1911 380? 1, I think it's a little bit complicated to run. Not overly complicated, just slightly. This Glock 42 has 3 safeties. It's got 2 in the actual internal workings of it. And then of course you have your trigger safety here. When we flip over to the Browning 1911 380, it's got quite a few safeties, but almost all of them are manual intervention. So if we take our beautiful skeletonized hammer back, gun will not fire unless the beaver tail safety is depressed. So you need a good firm grip on that to make sure you can fire, which is obviously kind of a cool safety. When you get to the slide safety, this one makes sense. You have the grip firmly held. The slide safety, which is ambidextrous, manual, it's not going to fire. Makes sense. Now this is the one that I don't love 100%. If you have no magazine inserted into the firearm, beaver tail is held quite tightly, bam, 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 nothing. It's not going to fire because there's no magazine inserted. I know quite a few firearms have that feature. I don't love it. It's just an extra step. It's overly complicated. God darn it, if I have a round in the chamber, I want it to fire. You can hold down on the slide release and then the gun will fire, but I just think that's an extra step because if the magazine is accidentally ejected in a high stress situation, that is an extra step you don't want to have to think because you're already in a high stress situation. And one more slight thing, I know it's just how the nature of the beast, but field stripping a Glock is quite simple, and there's a ton of these striker fire pistols that are very, very similar to this. My 8-year-old can actually put together a Glock post field stripping in about, I don't know, how quick did he do it the other day? Pretty darn fast. So it's simple, it's easy to do, it's easy to clean. Whereas these 1911s, all of them are this way. They're just a few extra steps. It's not hard, it's just a few extra steps. Field stripping the 1911 380 is not an overly complicated process. It's just not quite as simple as most of those striker fired. We're gonna start by ejecting the magazine, making sure the weapon is totally clear, and then we are going to come up here to the recoil spring plug. We're going to depress it, take that barrel bushing to the other side, remove that recoil spring plug. Then we're gonna come down here to the slide stop. Now, once we free pull that back because there's no spring tension against it, as soon as we've lined that up with the disassembly point, we can eject or push out, not eject, I guess, push out that slide stop. Then we're going to be able to remove the entire slide. With that slide off, we're going to rotate that barrel bushing to the opposite side. We can take out that recoil spring and the recoil spring guide rod. We're gonna take that barrel and the barrel bushing right out the end. Reassembly is the same process, just in reverse. Insert your barrel, take your barrel bushing, make sure it's lined up the appropriate way, insert it in and turn it. Then you'll take your recoil spring guide rod, make sure it's aimed the right way. Put it on. I like to put a little bit of pressure on that recoil spring just to help everything line up when it's onto the frame. Get it on the frame there, make sure through that hole that everything's lined up. Take your stop, put it in. Once that's in, you take your plug, press it down, rotate your barrel bushing, and you're back in business. The spec sheet is incredible. The performance is amazing. The aesthetics on this thing will make you smile ear to ear every single day. This Browning 1911 380 is such a fun gun to shoot, and I think if you're okay carrying in 380, this is a wonderful, wonderful option. Recoil management is a breeze because it is just balanced so very well. I highly, highly recommend it.